Good morning, everybody. It is market day. Yay! I am so happy because, well, one, it's market day, duh. And two, this show started a lot later than I thought. I rechecked it last night just to make sure because this is the same venue I worked our last show at. And I saw that it started at noon instead of 10 a.m. So thank goodness I looked at that because that means we got to get up a little bit later. So it's not nearly as early as usual, which we love that. But anyway, we are going to head out here just in a second. I just wanted to come on here and start this video off and say hi, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dana, aka Blondie Knots, and we are on our way to a craft show. If you haven't seen any of my craft show videos before, I love to vlog these, take you guys along for it, show you what sells, what doesn't sell, all the good things. So I'm happy to have you if you're new here. If you're returning, welcome back. You know, we love doing these together. And yeah, I can't wait. I think the only thing I had to update you guys on from our last show that we haven't spoke about yet is my pumpkins. So since this is my last show before my Christmas shows start, I did actually do something different and I marked down my pumpkins just to see what happens. So my old pumpkin prices were $14, $18, and $25, and I marked them down pretty significantly, honestly. So I think I have them right now at $12, $14, and $17. So I'm just curious to see how that's gonna go and if they sell well at those prices. I did have pretty good pumpkin sales last time, but it was only September. So now that it's the end of October and people are getting ready for Halloween, I'm gonna try to get some of these out of here so that I can restart next year. Every year I feel like I like to make stuff that's a little bit different, or my color palette might change a little bit. So it's okay if I get rid of some stuff at a lower price than I typically would sell it for, but I just wanted to tell you guys that because I don't want you to be surprised when you see my pumpkin prices and they don't match last show. So I think that's all that has changed for me. Everything else is the same. Ghost pricing is the same and everything else is not seasonal. So that's all I needed to tell you. But yeah, I'm so excited. Like I said, we're about to head out right now and grab some coffee, of course, on our way, and then we'll be at the show. So wish me luck. The high today is 70, which is amazing. I did bring a jacket because I get cold so easily, and so we'll see if we need that. But it is time. Let's head out. I cannot wait to see how this show goes. I'm so excited to see how the rest of our ghosts sell, and then those new little mystery Halloween treat bags we made together. I'm really excited about those too. We're also at a booth that's like a prime location booth, so we are going to be right next to like the children's parade. They're all dressing up in their Halloween costumes and coming, so I obviously can't wait for that. So let's head over there and see what's happening. Hello guys, we are back in the car. As you can see, everything's packed back up, and you can also tell it's still sunny out. This event was until 5 p.m. but we actually just left, which is something I haven't done yet before, so this is a first. But the wind was like about 30-35 miles per hour, something like that. And after we set up and I had basically gotten all my stuff out for display and everything, a huge gust of wind came through and my tent broke. So that was great. So that happened, and then as you saw, or I don't know if I've showed you yet, I'll insert the clip if I haven't already, the girl's tent next to me literally blew up and over onto the other set of tents on the other side. So it was just absolute chaos, and they still wanted to have the event. So we made a business decision and we left. Unfortunately, it really sucks because again, this wasn't a cheap show. I was looking forward to selling all my Halloween stuff, but you know, what can you do? So we are just headed back home now, and I'm gonna unload all this and everything, and then I will recap with you guys kind of my thoughts and just why I left more in detail. And then I will show you what I bring in my market bag to markets to prepare myself for a show, especially because today I needed a lot of it. So I will share that with you guys and all that good stuff. But yeah, I just wanted to be honest and real with you guys that it didn't work out. I have all my inventory, made 0 sales, and we left before it even started. So it is what it is, but I will see you guys in just a minute.
The woman was too stunned to speak.
Guys, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I am so glad to be home right now. That is really all I can say. This was such an insane experience. Like, truly, like nothing else I have experienced before. And so I just wanted to come on here and really be honest with you and break down kind of what happened today and how it all went. So this morning we left for the show. The show started at noon, which is quite different. A lot of my shows typically start by 10, so this was a later start, which I liked. It was nice to be able to sleep in a little bit. So the show started at noon and setup started at 10 a.m. So we left here around 9. You couldn't really tell that it was super windy or crazy or anything like that. It seemed fine. The weather was good. The high today was 70. It was sunny. Love that. Awesome. So we get to the venue at about 10. I think it was 10:15 by the time we actually got there. And as I'm setting up, I'm thinking like, okay, I need to rethink my setup. It's obviously windy today, and so I'm gonna have a little bit of a problem. You know, I like to put a lot of my stuff at different heights, and I needed everything to be very level or on the table. So my setup changed a lot. I wasn't crazy with my setup, but it did work out. It was fine. You know, I had no complaints. I was happy to have it that way. And then like the really strong winds started picking up, and they were kind of picking up when we were setting up my tent. The person next to me, their tent started to take off the ground and was starting to move, and all of her stuff was flying off. She had like 5-pound weights on each side, but it was no match for this wind. Like this wind was literally 35 miles per hour. It was just very crazy gusts of wind. So she had no chance against that. So she had to leave and have her friend come watch her tent because her friend didn't want to go pick up stakes. I guess it was a whole thing. She had to go pick up stakes and then come back. So she was gone for a while. So her tent was kind of being crazy. I got all set up. I got pictures and videos, and I'm like, this is gonna be fine. It's a little bit crazy, you know, whatever, but we'll be fine. We'll make it. All of the cute Halloween stuff that they had put out was flying away. So they took all that down. The event coordinators did that. And then all of a sudden we get this insane gust of wind. It blew and snapped my tent in half right down the front center part of my tent. And that just really sucked. It really did. I was already fully set up. We were actually sitting in our chairs just waiting to start selling. And I was like, okay, you know, this is gonna be fine. We're gonna do this, no big deal. Gotta do it for the video anyway, so whatever. It's not ideal, but it's fine. And then after my tent broke, my mind kind of changed about it, honestly. And I was like, well, I just lost, you know, $150 for my tent. I just paid $200 for this show. Like, I'm pretty in the hole right now. It was pretty much a ghost town in the sense of like shoppers. People were coming for the children's parade, which by the way, that was really cute to see all the kids all dressed up and stuff. I loved that. And everyone's dogs and stuff. It was really adorable. But as far as shopping wise, nobody was shopping. Now, granted, the event wasn't actually started by this point, but because the weather was so bad, I was starting to think that might affect sales to begin with. And then the lady 2 doors down from me, all of her stuff blew on the ground and broke like probably half of her glass inventory. She'd had like glass blown stuff and it broke about half of her stuff. And that was kind of like my true turning point after my tent broke and all of her inventory broke and my stuff was starting to fly a little bit. And I just thought, you know what, this really isn't worth it. There was a little more drama involved actually leaving the event, even though the event hadn't even technically started yet. But I had to make a business decision and do the best thing for me and my business. And I honestly felt like I was going to be sitting there and wasting my time. Genuinely, that's what I thought today. If I had stayed, it didn't feel like it was going to be a good show. My gut was telling me it's probably not going to be that lucrative. And typically, if I feel that way, it's always performed accordingly. So I kind of figured this just wasn't going to be a good turnout, unfortunately. I mean, there's nothing you can do about the weather. It is what it is, but in my opinion, the event coordinators probably should have canceled it for the day. They started to get very stressed and very testy with us because my entire row packed up and left. So we all all of us ladies in our row made a group decision that we aren't gonna stay and do this, and we all paid for prime location. So I think they were really upset with us. We all packed up, we all left. Like I said, the first whole front row left. A lot of people on the other side started packing up, and then that one person's tent completely took flight as I started to put my inventory away. Like, I think I packed like 5 pumpkins up, and someone's tent took off onto the other side of the venue, and it really almost seriously hurt somebody, and then no one was having fun, you know? Like I said, it was just kind of a moment where we all were just like, yeah, we're not gonna do this. So it was a bummer. Like, to be completely honest, I'm not happy about it. I'm really not. It is what it is. I could have come on here and just told you everything sold great, it was fine, but I wanted to be honest and tell you that, like, this is one of the very scary realities of doing markets. I think a lot of times we just see like the very glamorous side, but you don't see a lot of times the side of doing markets and having your own small business where you have to forfeit events, unfortunately, lose a lot of money. You don't make great sales just because the crowd's not good sometimes. Like, there's a very unglamorous side to markets, and I'm just trying to be very open and honest about both sides of the spectrum. Sometimes I do really good and it's a great show, but sometimes things like this happen, and yeah, it just is what it is. And unfortunately, there's literally nothing I can do about it except for let it go and not stay upset about it all day. And so I'm not going to be upset about it. I think I'll probably end up trying to list some of my pumpkins on Etsy. Honestly, that's about the only real Halloween stuff I have left. I have ghosts, but maybe I'll save those for next year. I don't really know. So maybe I'll put up some pumpkins. I might just put them away till next year. I really don't know, guys, honestly. I'm still like kind of just in a state right now where I'm like, oh my gosh, like what even was today, you know? So yeah, anyways, unfortunately, this isn't the video I wanted it to be. I wanted this to be a super fun market vlog. I love filming these for you guys. Luckily though, I feel like I'm filming a lot of other really fun stuff to share with you this month. By the way, I'm like redoing my room, so everything's kind of moving around, but oh my goodness, what a crazy, crazy day. And yeah, just really wanted to share with you guys the real honest truth about markets sometimes. Yeah, so I made negative, like, if I involve my tent, negative $300 before I even put on like gas getting to the show and stuff like that. So it was definitely a hit to my business today, but all good things come around, and this will work itself back around. At least if nothing else, I can share with you guys that not every show is glamorous, and not every show do you make, you know, $1,000 worth of sales at. Unfortunately, I wish it was that way, but it's just not. And so this is a very real side of it that I wanted to share with you. While we're here though, I thought it would be really fun to at least go over everything I pack in my market bag to bring with me to shows, since I have a lot of new people here since the last time I did one of these. And so I thought I would go over it with you guys. I feel like this can be very helpful, especially if you're newer to craft shows and you're not sure what to bring with you. It can feel very overwhelming. So these are my must-haves. I do have a little list, and I just go through this checklist in my notes app every single time I go to a show and make sure I have everything. So I will put the list up here for you so you can look at it or maybe screenshot it if you need it. And you want to use my list, you can at least use it as a template to base some of your things off of too. So number one, for me at least, because I film for you guys obviously, is my camera. That's always the first thing I bring with me. So I always make sure I have that. Another thing that, you know, is a little special to us is that we always bring energy drinks with us. Me and my husband, you know, we need a little pick-me-up usually halfway through the show, so we always bring energy drinks with us. Waters, always bring your water. It's a long day, and sometimes the events don't have a lot of like access to water, honestly, which is kind of funny, but I mean, it's not funny, it's kind of surprising, but it's true. Like sometimes I just can't find water, so I always bring my own like hydro jug full of water with me. So that's something I always bring. I always bring a charger and my charging brick. So I am lucky enough where I have my own charging brick in case my phone dies or my Square would be to die for some reason. But I always bring my charging brick with me. Always bring a pair of scissors. That is such an important thing. If you need to snip off any like, you know, straggly ends that somehow fell out of the project. So many times that's happened where a woven end pops up and I gotta snip that off. If you need, like, one of the things I have on here for an outdoor show is zip ties. Today was a windy day. I needed my zip ties. To cut those at the end of the day, you need scissors for that. There's just always maybe something you need scissors for, or maybe your booth mate next to you might need scissors too sometimes, and it's just nice to be able to have that to lend to them if need be. So I always make sure that I have my scissors with me. Another thing I always bring, outdoor show related, but is a hammer. You always need a hammer to either put your stakes into the ground if you have stakes, or to pull them out. My husband usually just like stomps them in with his foot, but then we always use the hammer to pull them out. So definitely if you're staking your tent down, bring a hammer with you. That's very important to me. Another thing you want to bring with you if you have it available, I got one off of Temu for like 97 cents, but I bring a box cutter with me. They're very inexpensive and it's just something good to have because you just never know when you need a little box cutter. Another thing I always bring, this one is looking a little disheveled because it's been in here a while, but I always bring a roll of paper towels in case someone spills something at your booth, you spill something at your booth. Always nice to have some paper towels on you. I always have one trash bag with me to collect trash because people leave their cups, their drinks. If you go get food, you need a trash bag for that. Sometimes you can't find a trash receptacle near you. It's good to bring a trash bag, so I always bring that with me. I always bring a project to work on. Even when my husband comes, he'll sit on his phone sometimes and I'll just work on a project. So I bring something to keep me occupied in the slower times. Always have that. Another thing that's important is a lint roller. I always bring a lint roller to roll my products out before I put them onto my table because in case it picked up hair anywhere, who knows? It's always nice to just give them a little fresh roll before you set it on the table. So always have that with me. Breath mints, I always have those just because you never know what you're gonna order for lunch, you know? I always bring with me a hand sanitizer or wipes depending on, but again, if you're going to be eating or something or just in between exchanging money, especially cash money, hand sanitizer is very important. Anytime I don't bring that, I feel like I get sick at a show afterwards. This is just a lot of my like things I like to bring when I go places. Really the biggest thing I ever need in here is like Kleenex or my lip gloss or who knows, but you know, I just bring my regular like little to-go bag for a just in case moment. Personally, I always rather be over prepared than under prepared. So I like to bring that bag with me. That one's not as necessary, but I do like to bring it. My cash bag I always have with me, and most important part of your whole market is your cash bag. So I keep my regular cash in here for change, and then I always have my Square reader in here. That's a very important thing. And all my extra business cards I keep in here, and I just keep them all in one place so that I know if I see my cash bag, everything's in there and I am good to go to a show. So that's so important. I also always keep a little notepad because so many people ask for you to write your email down, or if you need to jot something down, if you see something you like or you want to remember, I like to just jot it down on a piece of paper. So I always have that in my cash bag too. So that is really important to me as well. I always have my wallet, obviously. And that's about all I feel like is super necessary for your market bag. It is quite a bit of stuff, but I am someone who, like I said, I like to be over prepared rather than under prepared. And obviously if you don't do an outdoor show, you don't need quite a few of these things, but for outdoor shows, I always like to bring a little more just in case. But anyway, guys, I really hope you found that helpful. I hope you found what I keep in my market bag helpful. Maybe you can pull some ideas from there. I just love sharing my ideas and tips with you guys. Again, I'm so sorry that this video didn't go as planned. Of course, I can't control the weather or anything like that, but I really did just want to be open and honest with you that this show is just a huge flop for me, and sometimes it's just going to be like that. There's really nothing I can do except for move on and keep a good attitude going into my next shows. It's important to treat every show like a totally different show, so don't bring your bad energy or your bad thoughts from one show into your next show. Start every show with a nice, fresh, positive outlook that it's going to be a good day for sales, and then you can alter it for your business needs from there. But if you found this video helpful, I hope you guys will give this video a like for me. Definitely share this with your other market friends who maybe have had some less success successful markets and are feeling a little bit left out because everyone is just showing a much more glamorous side of markets, this is just a good reminder that, you know, this is life and sometimes it just happens that way and it's unfortunate, but it is the truth. So don't forget to keep that in mind and remember, not every show is going to be your best show. It's just not possible, unfortunately. If you're new here and you feel like sticking around, I would love to have you be a part of my channel. I have some really fun videos coming up in November for you guys that I just can't wait to share with you. And we do have more markets. So we will have a redemption market for this disaster, but of course I can't wait to share all of that with you guys and just all of the fun stuff moving forward. So definitely consider subscribing if you're new here. Other than that, I will see you guys on Wednesday, not Thursday, for our last crochet and chat of October. I know a lot of you are very sad, which makes me so happy to know you enjoyed them so much, but it is our last Halloween crochet and chat, and I will be, of course, in my last costume of the month. So I can't wait to see you in that. But yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for letting me take up a little bit of your time here on the internet today, and I will be seeing you on Wednesday. Bye!